There's a trend on TikTok, and I'm wondering if you've noticed it too. Now, it might just be my Nerdy For You page, but these videos get a million likes, so I'm not the only person watching them. It's a genre of sci-fi story that all basically follow the same plot. There's a galactic council of alien races. They all think humans are backward and harmless until one of them decides to go to war with us, only to discover that we are the fire ants of the universe, tiny and defenseless until it's go time. There's very little variance to these stories. It's like Nerd Kabuki, with only the dumb names of the aliens being changed from story to story. Now, not every trend has a deep psychological reason behind it. As Freud says, sometimes a skibbity toilet is just a skibbity toilet. But I think this one does. I think this one is because the world, and especially the United States, has been let down by the internet. See, for centuries, human beings were able to pretend that our species was capable of greatness if we could just cut through the barriers of distance, culture, and language and work together. But then we invented the internet, which did cut through the barriers of distance, culture, language, and all it really did was reveal how awful we all are. The internet let the worst person in every town find each other and amplify their idiot message. It gave boomers AI-generated images of dogs on horseback saving cats from floods that they like on Facebook over and over again. It gave us a global incel forum called X. It was like waiting for years to get into a fancy restaurant only to discover it's a pig trough filled with all the food found on the floor at the local middle school. We thought we could transcend our worst traits, but what the internet revealed was that we are nothing but our worst traits. I think these stories about human beings defeating enlightened aliens are a coping mechanism. By turning our venal, animalistic, stubborn, violent tendencies into power traits that allow us to conquer our would-be conquerors, we allow ourselves to live in the fantasy that our species is not just a bunch of hairless apes hooting into the cosmic void, but something special and unique in the universe. It's like how every nerd screenwriter eventually makes a movie about how the real sexy men in the world aren't tall, muscular, symmetrical, rich athletes, but, nerd screenwriters. If you don't like reality, keep telling stories in the opposite direction until those stories create a reality all their own. Now, of course, the correct response to all this would be to maybe, try to be better people. Maybe become as enlightened as the aliens in our Cope stories. Probably won't happen. But maybe, if you're one of the heroes that made it to the end of this little essay, you'll be one of the few people who interact with the stories for what they are: collective embarrassment. Speaking of embarrassing, it's time to ask for a like and a follow. Hey, maybe I'll write a story about a guy who begs for clout, and that begging actually saves the galaxy.